This is the third video I'm doing in this series on getting this old Sears rototiller running again with this 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine on it. In the first video, we unseized it. The second video, we unseized the clutch. Now, if you remember from that, we had this stuck exhaust valve right here. Today, we're going to take care of that. We're going to clean this up, and then we're going to see how much compression this actually has. Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Steve's Small Engine Saloon again. Thanks for tuning in. My website address is right there as usual.com. Check it out if you ever care to do that in the future. So the first two videos that I've done, unseizing the engine and unseizing the clutch. If you missed those videos, I got some links up here in the information button. I also have some links underneath this video in the description and in the pinned comments where you can easily get back to those first two videos. Now, if you remember on the first video where I was unseizing the engine, when we took the head off there, we could see all this carbon and everything in here. And when we turned the engine over, that exhaust valve did not close. It was stuck. Now, here's the funny part. You remember when I actually squirted some of that ATF, 50% ATF, 50% acetone penetrating fluid that I make? We squirted that in there to get those rings unstuck. And I also squirted some right underneath the stuck exhaust valve. 2 days later, I came out and I turned over the engine a couple times again, and the exhaust valve was moving a little bit more. So what I did, I put my thumb on it as I was turning it over, and it started squishing down more and more as I was turning it over. From that penetrating oil, freed that up a little bit, and now I keep turning it over and keep turning it over, and it actually freed up, so it was working properly again. Well, that was lucky, I'll tell you that. I didn't have to do anything else, but the penetrating fluid to free up that valve stem was sticky on there. So now that that's unstuck, we got to clean this off. We got to clean all that carbon and junk off of there. I love these wire wheels that you just put in your drill. I use this cup kind of shaped one right here. And I put that in there, and I just ground off all of the stuff on the top. I closed both valves down and just did this. And that cleaned that up pretty nice, actually. Now, the other thing is, underneath those valves, there could be carbon stuck underneath the valve where the valve meets the seat. If there's any kind of a carbon buildup underneath there, even a little speck, it'll hold your valve open and your valve won't seal properly. So then I did this, and I put this flat wire wheel on here. And on the exhaust valve, I just turned the engine over so the exhaust valve was up as high as it could go. And then I just ran this one underneath the valve to clean off the seat and any kind of carbon that's going to be stuck in there. I did this. All the way around. I looked in there actually with a flashlight and a magnifying glass, and it was clean as a whistle. So that was awesome. And then I turned it over and I did the same thing on the intake valve just in case. And now this is all nice and clean. Everything works absolutely beautifully smooth on there now. I'm really happy with that. I'm not going to worry about rings or lapping the valves in, grinding the valves, anything like that, until we put the head back on and check it and see if it even has any compression or not. Let's do that first. Putting the head back on is pretty simple. I'm using a new head gasket. Oh, I also cleaned up the head itself, you know what that looked like before, right? So we put the head gasket on and set that head back on top. And now we have to put the bolts in. You have 8 bolts. Now there's 3 things that you have to worry about with these bolts. If you look at those bolts closely, You have 8 of them. 3 of them are longer than the other 5. The 3 longest bolts go in the 3 holes that surround your exhaust valve right here in this corner. Right, your exhaust valve is the smaller valve, and it's the one that exactly right where your muffler comes out. So you put those 3 longest ones in that corner. And then your other 5 bolts, you can put them wherever you want. They're all exactly the same. Oh yeah, don't forget to put that little cover back on, because 4 of your head bolts go right through that little cover. It's kind of an air deflector cover to help your engine cool a little bit better. So make sure you get that in there too. And then just screw all those down finger tight. Okay, we got them finger tight now. The second thing that you have to worry about with those bolts is the torque setting on that. So today we are going to use the torque wrench. It's set at exactly 12 foot-pounds. Now the third thing you have to worry about with these bolts is the pattern. Now if you just start tightening bolts from one end of that head to the other, it can actually bend that head, warp it so it's not sealing down on the head gasket evenly. That's the point. It has to get squished down on there evenly. The way you do that, this is the way Briggs & Stratton wants you to do it. There's a pattern of tightening those bolts so that doesn't happen to the head. Right here, you do this in this order. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the order you want to tighten them in, and just keep going around in that pattern until you're done. And then I would highly suggest do it again, because you might find after you do that, that maybe one is a little loose and it'll go a little bit more and then click again. So do it all a second time. Now you know the torque is proper on there. Now we got to check it for compression. Let's see what happens. Here's the old compression tester right here. By the way, some of these tools and parts I'm using, I have links right underneath this video in the description and in the pinned comments, so you can check. If you don't have a compression tester or something like that, check them out, see how much they cost. If you want to buy one, go ahead. Here we go. Now again, if you have your starter on there, some people think there's a magical number where you pull it over, oh, you only pull it over with a compression tester 2 times or 3 times. There is no number. You keep pulling it over and keep pulling it over until the needle does not come up anymore. Keep going till the needle doesn't move anymore. That's how you're going to do it. And that's what we're going to do with this drill right now. All right, let's check it out. Oh, I like that. Well, maybe you won't. Check that out. Just under 100 PSI, if you can see that. Is that enough compression to make this thing run? Yeah, I feel like it's borderline. Put your comments down. Tell me if you think that this will run on, what is that, 90%, 90 PSI compression. Tell me what you think in the comment section. So I think that's pretty lucky that we got that good of compression without doing anything with the lapping the valves or doing anything with the rings or anything like that. So I hope you like this series that I'm doing, guys and girls. A lot of people in the comment section think this is a great idea, so I'm going to keep doing it till we're done. Next video, as you guys know, if you're watching the series, we still have no spark in this. So we're going to attack that spark issue. We're going to get that spark on the next video. I hope you give me the thumbs up button. I hope you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share this, and get your comments down. Oh, you want to watch something else right now while you're waiting for the spark video? Watch that video right there next. I think you'll like that too. Click on that one right now. Until the next time, guys and girls, Modelo beer. Are you kidding me? This is delicious. A little expensive, but very, very yummy. Steve out. Yeah.